welcome back. This is week 2 of the Burke Fantasy Football Podcast. This was week 1 of the NFL games. Today's guest is going to be Jaden Granda. He dropped 137 points in week 1, being a big underdog guy, rookie to the league. You guys are going to see him later. Starting off, me and Ben right now, we're going to go over a couple things that happened in week 1, and then we're going to go over the Board of Commissioners' power rankings, agree, disagree, and we're going to go over some hot takes. But here to start, I'm going to let Ben talk about kind of what he saw in week 1, and I'll go over it, and then we'll dive into these power rankings.
Yeah, I mean, a fun week. I mean, just kind of just like sat and watched football with my dad and my brother. Was never not really the biggest NFL guy. You know, everybody knows I'm a more college guy, but had a good time. You know, definitely not watching a game unless I have a player playing. But good week nonetheless. We saw Derek Carr go nuclear. It was honestly good to see that guy get a win. You know, I like Derek Carr. It was good to see that guy get a win. We saw an awesome Sunday night matchup with the Rams and the Lions. That was a great game. I had a good time watching that. And then, you know, mainly what I want to talk about is DeShaun Watson absolutely shitting the bed against Dallas. Might be, actually, confidently will say this, worse than Bryce Young. Worst quarterback in the league, worse than Will Levis. I will stand on business all day. He was terrible. He was so bad that in garbage time, they didn't take him out. They wanted him to have a moment that was like, okay, we can build off this, like one good play. Stefanski wanted him to get one good play. Couldn't manage one good play. The guy is absolutely awful. I'm convinced Benjamin Ackerman can go in that offense and do a completely better job. Yes, he did have Micah Parsons rushing in his face, but he also had a lot of time. That's a good O-line, right? And there was a lot of time. It was just, he was freaking awful. He's, as Big Cat says, he's as bad of a football player as he is a person. You will not see me trash any other player other than Deshaun Watson, maybe Tyreek Hill because he beat his kid. These guys are very talented individuals, most football players, and they're good people. They don't deserve the hate. Deshaun Watson deserves the hate. He's a shitbag, and I will stand on business saying that. Get Amari Cooper some targets. Please put Jameis Winston. Please put Jameis Winston in. Please, Brad Stefanski. Anyways, I also heard that Bill O'Brien in Texas would just run the Clemson offense, and that's why he was so good. Like, he couldn't wrap his small little sex addicted brain around the NFL offense. And the reason he's so shit in the Browns is because Stefanski's trying to run like an actual competent NFL offense, and he's just thinking about getting Jade off. You know what I'm saying? He's just thinking about choking the chicken. He just can't wrap his brain around it. And my boy Amari Cooper is just out there cutting his ass. Just running his ass off, bro. He's getting double teamed every time he's getting open, and Deshaun Watson can't drop it in a bucket for him, and it's honestly tragic. Fuck you, Deshaun Watson, you piece of shit.
Okay, so Ben wanted to go into the segment on Deshaun Watson. I'm going to talk about a couple guys that I liked from this week because we just had such a negative week. First thing, I'll start off negative. T. Higgins, I hate you. You're terrible. I'll never draft you again. But I am starting him this week. I have to. I drafted him in the 4th round. Going into me and Ben both like this guy. Jamison Williams went off this week.
Bro, shout out J-Mo.
I think J-Mo's arrived. I think we were all sleeping on what Saquon Barkley still had left in the tank.
For sure. Goodness.
And then Anthony Richardson and Jaden Daniels, they're legit. They're here to stay.
Yeah.
They're going to be A-plus point guys. They can run the
Dude,
ball.
shout out my black Russian QBs, bro. That's my favorite genre of player to watch, 100%.
Yeah, so we had some guys have some good weeks. We're going to dive into the power rankings here. These are going to be quite controversial. Just by looking at them, I can already tell you there's going to be some outrage. But I don't think there's going to be too much disagreement on this based on the Puka Nacua injury. The first team we're going to dive into at number 14 is Ben Ackerman down here at 14. He found himself in the 14th spot last year at this time, and he's back here again, and he's got a really tough injury to his second-round pick. So I'll let you go.
So I don't know if I necessarily agree with this. I think if obviously Puka got hurt and he put up 80 points, it is what it is. Joe Burrow had an uncharacteristic 7 points. I think if Lamondre looked insane, like Lamondre legitimately looked insane. I watched that game. He looked really good. If he can keep that up, and Tony Pollard got a ton of carries too. We can be looking at I think like a sneaky little playoff team with Ben Ackerman. Honestly.
I like the BFFLPA support. I do not think this is a playoff team, and I don't think it's particularly close. This week he's starting Jerry Jeudy and Ezekiel Elliott, so don't love this team. Zeke's not terrible. Travis Kelce had an underwhelming week. Puka's out for at least 4 weeks. Ramondre, I like his week. He's better than I thought. Ben Ackerman, I will give you credit. We were a little bit wrong about your running back room. You were off. However, Tony Pollard plays the Jets this week. He's cooked. And he's now he's starting Tua over Joe Burrow this week. Jackson Smith and Jigba caught 2 balls last week. I just don't like the outcome we had. This can't be turned around. I don't think it's as bad as last year still. I do think Puka that is either a tradable piece or something you can hold on to and hope he comes back. But this team definitely in the current moment looks pretty rough for going into week 2.
Yeah, I just don't agree. I think he can sneak in. I was really his running back room outperformed my running back room, and my running back room is the best in the league, and I'll die on that hill.
And okay, I love the take. This is what I'm gonna say all podcast. This is gonna be some people are gonna love this take, some people are gonna hate this take. It is week 1. Ramondre Stevenson will not touch the ball 25 times in a game again.
Okay. Check on that. I'll agree. I agree with that take. I do agree with that take.
Tony Pollard broke a 35-yard touchdown run in a game they lost. They're playing the Jets next week. Tony Pollard might have 46 yards. I am not a week 1 faller of either way. I think a great team can be bad next week and a bad team can be great. Now, I could be wrong, and Ackerman could go out and drop 130 next week because it's only week 2.
To be fair, every team we talk shit about goes crazy. So
yeah, so Ackerman, we're helping you out, or I am. Ben, your BFFL PA guy is backing you up. I'd love to see the brotherhood. For me, it's not a team I would love to have at the moment, but Ackerman,
no. I definitely like a lot of teams more, but I think it's a little harsh.
I pray and hope Ackerman gets out of this spot because I love him as a fantasy manager. I don't want to see him at 14.
Yeah, my thing is and I will stand on business till I die. There's a guy at 12 and 11 that I think are worse. So,
okay, and I don't hate that take. So, rolling into the next guy, this is another guy, and God, I love him to death. We found these 2 guys in the same spot last year. At 13, we have Ryland's team. This is a team we both kind of liked going into the year. I want you to go first because I know you do like his team.
Look, I just want to be up front, and I'm gonna make a big statement here. I think not necessarily you. You are not that guy that I'm talking about. But there's 2 other people on the board of commissioners. Wee bit of overreacting coming from them. You just look at his squad. Look what happened. It's just straight up underperformance, right?
Yeah.
He's gonna come back. The J Love injury, real bad for him. He's got to go make a move. He's either got to make a move for a QB or he's got to pick up Malik Willis or Sam Darnold.
Last week, I'll trade him.
Huh?
Matthew Stafford threw the 300. I'll trade him. I don't need him.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, because his backup is Drake May. Other than that, looking at the squad, looking at the team, I still like it. I still think there's room to improve. Zach Moss had good usage.
I agree.
Which I like for his upside on his team. DK with 4 points, like obviously that's not going to happen every week, right? That's just obvious. He's a freak athlete. They're going to find ways to get him the ball. What we saw in week 1, and I did watch, this is not me saying this, was a league-wide adaptation of the Bill Belichick, I'm going to take your number 1 guy away, right?
Yes.
And make the young guys make moves, right? And so teams are going to adapt to that, and teams are going to find a way to get their number 1 option the ball, right? We saw a ton of number 1 options just kind of get put out for the better guys or for the younger guys. That's not going to happen every week, right? These boom guys just that we had this week, that's not necessarily going to happen every week. Amon-Ra is going to have over 1,000 yards this season. You know what I'm saying? Yep. DK is going to get points. Terry McLaurin is going to get the ball. Like number 1 options, they're going to feed. So I just think, and then obviously the Dalton Kincaid situation is probably the biggest concern.
Yeah.
He's got to start somebody other than Christian Kirk, but he has Tyler Lockett.
Who had a solid week.
But then again, we're gonna see how they move. He's got Jacoby Myers. You know what I'm saying? He can throw Jacoby Myers in there, and the team looks a lot better.
Now, Rylan, when I know you listen to the podcast religiously and do your start sits based on what we say, please start the guy you want to start.
Yeah.
Don't take me and Ben's advice. We haven't been right yet.
No.
With that being said, Rylan, I'll put my hand up here. I put Rylan pretty low. I think I put him at 12 instead of 13, but I still put him low. I don't think this team is as bad as I thought when I looked at it. DK and DJ Moore both had under 6 points. That's not happening.
Mm-hmm.
Tall clearly showed he's going to touch the ball every play.
Mm-hmm.
Zach Moss looked better than expected. Kincaid, I'd be concerned about. Christian Kirk, I'd be concerned about. Love's going to be back in 3 weeks. You can stream a quarterback. It's going to be fine.
Yeah.
I think the team is more around the 10-11 range than it is the 13 range.
Yeah. And so then the next two guys are guys I think, me personally, obviously I'm not a commissioner. I'm a BFLLPA. Not, Ben Ackerman's definitely the head. I'm definitely his right-hand man. So, obviously, our opinion's more based than the commissioner's. We got Zach at 12, Ethan at 11. I'd put both those guys last place and second. The Zach slander will continue. I think Zach came out, had one player perform good that he didn't start, and he started talking that talk. Buddy, you're still last place in my book. Hate to break it to you. I didn't want to be. Obviously, I was holding back my tongue when we were doing the week 1 podcast. I was like, Zach's such a good guy. You know what I'm saying? And then he really came in the group chat when Jaden Reed went crazy and was like yapping and saying like, oh, you know what I'm saying? The commissioners are wrong. The podcast is wrong. Why do we have Ben on there? Let's get somebody who knows football. Buddy, you didn't start him. Okay, you took him out. You listened to what I said. Okay, I think you're last place. Let's take a look at the team real quick. What's his freaking name? Rogers Redemption Ride? Look, Geno Smith was 17 points. No, buddy, it's not happening.
He had a 35-yard rushing touchdown.
Kyron Williams, look, bro, we all saw that game. We all saw them rotating reps with bums, bro, okay? We all know that the Rams offense, you got one guy that's a considerable good back, right, that you think is going to get the ball, and then their coach goes, what's their coach's name? I'm sorry? Sean McVay goes, no. Actually, we're just going to get fresh legs in there at all times, okay? So, that obviously may not work out. Derrick Henry's a bum. Devontae Smith, good player. Malik Neighbors, bum. Zach Ertz, bum. Started Javonte Williams over Jaden Reed. I say you do that again because obviously you listen to us and everything we have to say. So start him again. Okay? Leave Jaden Reed on the bench, buddy. Khalil Mack, 10 points. I think that this is probably the only consistent player you have. Greg Zerlian with 1 point. Great kicker, bud. Jaden Reed sitting on the bench with 32 points. What a dog. What a guy. Love the kid to death. Don't start him, though. Xavier Legette with 6. Yeah, your team's a bum. You got a bum team. You're not coming out winning week 2. It doesn't matter.
Looking at this team, Ben really just went off. I will say I don't like this team. I think I ranked this team 12. I don't think this is the last place team. I will say Kyron Williams, did he get some other reps taken? Yes, he still scored, had like 15 points. I think he's going to be fine.
12.9.
12.9. Okay, not a bad game. Derrick Henry played against the Chiefs. He's about to play the Raiders. He's going to score another touchdown. Geno Smith, I don't love. Zach Ertz, I don't love. Devontae Smith, great player. He's a wide receiver too.
Mm-hmm.
Malik Neighbors, love the talent. This now proven. We knew Daniel Jones was butt cheeks, but it's now proven he's really butt cheeks against the Vikings. So Malik Neighbors' ceiling is extremely capped. And now we have Jaden Reed. You put him back in your starting lineup week 2, I see. He has no Jordan Love. Malik Willis can't throw a football.
No, we know this for a fact. Malik Willis, certified legs, right? But bro went to Liberty University, so we all know that degree is fake. We all know he has no brain cells, okay? The kid is not dropping back. He is not throwing the ball, okay?
So I don't hate everything about this team, but I definitely don't like much. Zach, I want to give you some grace because it's week 1, but Jaden Reed's not going for 32 again. And like Ben said, the best part of your team was on your bench last week. So I do think your running backs have a solid week coming up this week. They have 2 good matchups. I'll give you that. But Neighbors, Ertz, even Reed, I think they're going to screen him up and get him the ball a couple times because he's such a talented player. But 32 is not happening again. There's nobody to get him the ball downfield.
Yeah.
So,
Also, everybody I just called a bum, you are infinitely better at football than me, and I'm sure you're a great guy. I didn't mean to do that. I'm just clip farming. But
with that being said, number 11, and this is another team that Ben thinks should be lower, is Ethan Wright's team here at number 11. I'll let you go ahead and take the first dive. I'm letting you roll the clips here. You're on fire right now.
Shooting Browns?
Yep, Shooting Browns.
So I love Ethan. You know, that's my guy. But we went all in with Josh Allen, and we did not take anybody else. Mark Andrews pick in the 4th round. Whoo! Woo! Yeah. That one's rough. Not looking good.
We called that one. We
did call that one. Marvin Harrison Jr. Listen, I do think the come up is there for him. Like we said, they were taking away number 1 options all this week. They're gonna find a way to get Marvin the ball. Right? Kyler was way too short to see over his offensive line to catch him on that deep route that he was running, that he was wide open, and we all saw. So I don't know when Call of Duty Double XP weekend drops. I would just not start Marv those weeks. Other than that, I think it's just like the Jalen Warren Raheem Mostert combo is yikes. He's gonna have to give up AJ Brown or Marvin Harrison for a somewhat tolerable running back. Honestly, the way Chris Godwin looked was insane. Raheed Shaheed looks awesome. Honestly, he does have Isaiah Likely. So, you know what? This is actually, I was false. This is not number 11. This is not the second to last team. This is not 13. I like him at 11, and we'll keep him at 11. For me,
I voted him at 11. I'm going to keep him at 11. Josh Allen, A.J. Brown, Chris Godwin are like the 3 brighter spots in this lineup. Isaiah Likely and Mark Andrews, he's going to have to figure out which one he's going to end up starting. That's kind of weird having both of them.
He's going to have to get rid of one of them, for sure.
Yeah. But Marvin Harrison, I'm not that worried about yet.
No.
The running back situation, as bad as we were calling it, looks even worse today.
Yes.
We were saying this is the worst running back room in the league, and they had to make a trade. They combined for 5.5 points last week, and Raheem Mostert might not play this week. Mm-hmm. This running back room is the worst, not this year, not right now. This is the worst running back room we have seen in league history.
Oh, 100%. There's no like backups either. Chase Brown and Marshawn Lloyd.
No.
Right. Those are the 2 backups for him. Yeah. And then
Chase Brown had no role. Zach Moss took everything.
Oh, he's got Khalil Herbert, who also has no role. So yeah, this is quite literally the worst running back room. I will say, he can easily get rid of Marv or AJ, get a great running back, maybe even get a good backup running back, and then still have Raheed Shaheed, right?
Yeah.
And Isaiah Likely. He's gonna be fine. But he needs to make those moves.
He got to make a trade.
He got to make a trade.
Right now is at 11. It can't be. So there's moves to be made. Team can be improved, in my opinion. Going to number 10. Last year's champion goes 0-1. Doesn't have a great week. Ranked at 10. I'll let you dive in first. Tell me what you think over on Jacob's team. Tomato shaking to booty.
Yeah, I mean, I'm always praying on this kid's downfall. Just always wanting him to lose. Never not wanting him to lose. Obviously, now that I said that, he's going to win next week. He definitely got plagued with the Bill Belichick take out the number 1 option deal. He'll be fine. I like him where he's at. Starting Chuba Hubbard is crazy. Keon Coleman, certified bum, like I said.
He actually had a decent week.
No, he didn't. He's a bum.
My fault.
No, I'm kidding. He seems like a great guy. Really good at football. Crazy athlete. Seems like a dope guy. Not a bum in real life. But, yeah. Anyways, he'll be fine. The quarterback, he's got to get figured out. He might want to make a move. His bench looking thin, but I think a lot of his guys come back later on in the year.
Yeah.
Yeah, Chicago defense is not dropping 25.5 points every week. Big win for Reed, too. Love the trash talk in the GC. That was beautiful. Brought a tear to my eye.
So, for this team, for me, I was a little higher on this team than I am today. Going into the year, I thought this is more of a 7 or 8 team to squeeze into the playoffs. Rashad White and James Conner, I feel safe about their workload. I feel good about those guys. Jamar Chase, Higgins is coming back. Chase, I wouldn't really worry about. Olave, they won by 40 points. He'll catch more balls. Fryermuth's fine. He did all right. The quarterback situation's okay. The flex situation is going to be a weird rotation until he gets some guys healthy. I still just think this is a team that's looking ahead. This is not a team that's meant to be rated right now. So as far as what I'm looking at right now, he might go 0-2. He could lose it again this week. I just think this is a really mid-team for where we're at right now.
Mm-hmm.
But, the Bears' defense is the only reason he hung around in that game. So, freak the Bears. Dude, Caleb Williams looks so bad. But he's a rookie. He'll get better.
Caleb will be fine, but,
yeah,
he's not better than Malik Willis. Let's just put it that way. Plain and simple.
Okay, going on to the number 9 team. This is Jackson Evans trapping at Mahomes, and we have an absolute poop fight between him and Zach. He wins 93-85, 93 points, pretty low total, but does sneak away with the win. We know Jackson has a history of winning games because his opponent simply doesn't show up. That's how he made the playoffs last year, and that's how he's starting this year off.
Yeah.
This team,
the Deontay Johnson pick not looking great with.
I will say, the Brian Thomas pick, which we liked, looked good. Brian Thomas scores a touchdown, has 13 points. This team looks solid to me. Jefferson, Waddle, McBride, Brian Thomas, I like it. James Cook, I like. He's going to touch the ball. Not a super touchdown scorer, but he's a safe floor. Mahomes, I think, will be fine. My question still is the Jerome Ford. He had a good week last week. Don't see that going on forever.
No, he's definitely going to – yeah, he's got to get that figured out.
The bench is pretty weak. Singletary's okay. He's just in a terrible offense.
Yeah.
So this isn't a great team. It's not a bad team. This team finds itself right here at 9. I think 9 is a fair spot. He won a game. Probably shouldn't have, but he won a game.
Mm-hmm.
And he's got kind of a mid-squad, has a chance to be good, has a chance for it to go south. So I think 9 is perfect.
I mean, he's playing the worst team in the league. So when you play the worst team in the league, that's a free win, You play Zach, you see Zach on the schedule, free win. But yeah, I mean, Pat Mahomes is going to start dropping 20 bombs again. I think a lot that worthy touchdown, they counted it as a run, but Mahomes played good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with everything you said. James Cook needs to just get in the end zone, and his team looks a lot better.
Yeah, so the next team, this is voted at 8. I think I put myself at 8. One person put me at 9, one person put me at 7. So around 8 is where I averaged out to. Looking at my team, actually, I've got some takes here because I'm tired of the yap in the group chat. I'm going to let you go first.
Let me pull you up. I ain't got much to say. Talk your talk.
Okay. I like this team. If you don't like where I'm ranked, I scored more than any other losing team. Get out of here. If you lost, I scored more than you. That's where I'll start. I was I was either the first or second highest scoring loser. Granda had a great week. Hats off to him. Going through my team, I played without my 4th round pick and still put up more than half the league did. I scored more than 8 other guys in the league without T. Higgins, who will be back. Puka Nacua just went down. Cooper Kupp is going to be eating for the next 4 weeks. I like my team. I feel good with where we're at. I don't think this is the best team in the league. I was ranked way too high in power rankings going in. I do think this is a playoff team. I will reinstate that. Week 1 overreactions are a thing. This is a playoff team. I would put money on me making the playoffs. This is a playoff squad.
Yeah, looking at the list. Yeah, I mean, have you ranked that low is crazy in my opinion. Just looking at the squad. I mean, obviously bench doesn't look great, but dude.
Yeah, and bench. I have the worst in the league. Thin bench.
If Bijan gets in the end zone, which they had an uncharacteristically bad game against Pittsburgh.
Yep.
That could be easy 25 bomb. Jacobs was cut. They kind of started clicking towards the end, but that's a really good run defense. I don't know why no one's talking about the Eagles' run defense. Is crazy?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They got all of freaking Georgia on their line. They're insane. And then Kupp was I think people are getting twisted. Kupp was eating even before Puka went out.
Yeah.
Puka caught 2 balls. Everything else was going to Kupp.
Yep.
Right? He's the guy. He looks insane. Barring injury, that dude could easily be wide receiver 1 this season.
Yeah. I feel good about my team. I feel better. Given I lost, I actually feel better about my team going into this following week.
Yeah.
I think Dell didn't score great. He had 7 targets, though, and he got a carry. George Kittle looks fine. Roma Dunze, I'm never picking up a bear again. He's terrible. I might cut him. Look for Roma Dunze on the waiver wire soon. He's terrible. With that being said, I don't want to go too much farther into my team. I like it. I think it's a borderline playoff team, but I was definitely ranked too high going in. Going to number 7, this is the one I think is crazy. Granda, after a 138-point week 1, the rookie stuns the league and is at number 7, barely in the playoffs. I'll let you go first on this roster.
Dude, 100%. I think he should be higher. I honestly would put him above myself at the 4 spot, which, spoiler alert, at the 4 spot. Dude, everything that we were ragging on his team for was like, okay, we have questions. These questions, right? Week 1, they come out and answer all of those questions. And it isn't like a week 1 upside type of thing. It's like hey, like the upside you were hoping for, the offenses are using them in that way, right? Saquon doesn't get hurt. Easily could be RB1 with the way they're running him. Our question was like, yo, are they gonna be able to gadget guy Worthy and get him the ball? Yes, they're gonna get Worthy the ball. He's gonna get open. Like, you know what I'm saying? Barring injury, like that dude could be a guy. And Christian Watson, other than Jaden Reed, who's also kind of like in that Worthy gadget guy, they're getting him the ball. He's basically the wide receiver 1. You know, if they don't throw Reed in those like weird screens and stuff like that, he would come out as wide receiver 1. He got the ball. They targeted him. I mean, 3 receptions, but they targeted him 5 times, which I think was more than any other player other than Reed, right? And he got open, huh? Yeah,
right.
And he had Darius Slay on him, who was one of the better corners in the league.
So, for me, there's a little bit of saltiness in this take. Granda bent me over, had my face in the pillow this week. With that being said, I like to be reasonable about week 1. This team, I'm going to tell you the bright spots of this team. Anthony Richardson is an animal. Saquon Barkley could finish as the RB1. Isaiah Pacheco is a safe 10 to 15 a week. Drake London's not going to have that bad of a week. Sam Laporta's going to be fine. I like this team. Xavier Worthy, Christian Watson, and Drake London combined for 7 catches. 7. They had 3 touchdowns on 7 catches. Okay? That is not happening all year. Saquon Barkley's not scoring 3 touchdowns all year. Pacheco got in. Anthony Richardson runs one in. This team had a ceiling week. Now, can this team do this again at some point? Yes, it will. Xavier Worthy will have another game like this year. Christian Watson will score another touchdown. But week to week, this team is not playing up to that ceiling. His defense had a good week. His kicker looked like everything went right for Granda, and I think that's great. That's how you win football games. Everything goes right. I'm not hating on him. I think Granda should be higher than 7. Granda's a top 5 team for me. The rankings are a little low for Granda. But I do think this was his ceiling week, and it probably happened because he's playing me. I know I'm coping. Serious cope action right here. But I do like this team. I'm not going to go too far into it. I think he's got some really boomer bust guys. He's going to lose some weeks because those guys just fall flat on their face. And he's going to win some weeks with 140 points again because all his team booms. So I think this is a playoff team, though. No doubt this is a playoff team for me.
Okay. Who we got up next?
Up at number 6 here, this is Nate's team. I think Granda should be in front of Nate. I'll go ahead and put that out there. But we'll dive into Nate's team. He finished with, I believe, 95 points last week, and he lost. I don't remember who. Oh, he lost to Ryan.
He lost to Ryan, who put up 131.
Ryan had a great week. I can't fault Nathan for Ryan having a great week. But going to Nathan's team, I'm going to let you dive in first and give an opinion on the 6th spot ranking for him.
San Francisco looks like they got a little bit of a grudge against Ayuk. Dak only put up 11?
Yeah. It was a tough week against the Browns, week 1. I wouldn't worry too hard.
Yeah, but they blew them out. They blew them out 33-17. They must have just ran Zeke a lot when they were up. They were up. He's going to throw the ball more than that. Jonathan Taylor's going to have... That's a bad week, low-key.
Yeah, I think so now, welcoming on the first guest the first week for the Burke Fantasy Football 2024 podcast. The first guest ever, Jaden Granda, drops 130 points in week 1. The rookie comes out and stuns Commissioner week 1. Granda, first of all, welcome to the league, buddy. How does it feel to come out and drop a nuclear bomb week 1?
Well, let me just say thank you for inviting me to this league, boys. I was super excited to get it started. Coming into the draft, I had a plan. I knew I was going to be picking pretty low, but with that being said, I got the pick back-to-back kind of thing going in round 2. It's an awesome feeling being able to come out week 1, drop 135 points. My boy Xavier Worthy came through. I was nervous about him, but I knew the Chiefs were going to dial something up. Andy Reid was going to dial something up, like he used Tyreek Hill. But the boys play well for me.
And going into your first round pick, your 11th overall pick, Saquon Barkley. Let's talk about it. Former Giant, and you're a Giants fan, repping the Giants hat. Saquon Barkley comes out for your division rival team, but he's on your fantasy team. 3 touchdowns in the first game, 32 points. He really solidified the win for you this week. Are you feeling great about the pick?
Yeah, Saquon Barkley, I feel like he's going to be a consistent guy all year round. Injuries, I don't know if it'll be as big of a deal this year for him with actual O-line blocking for him.
Hey, knock on some wood, though. Knock on some wood.
Yeah,
Can't be talking about injuries. Can't be talking about injuries now.
You know, when Saquon was on the Giants, it was 1 versus 11. And now he's actually got 10 other teammates on the field with him. So we're happy about that.
So I want to talk to you about 2 things. In the segment before this, we went into our power rankings. So going into the season, I believe you were ranked bottom 3 or 4. Going into the season, you're definitely slept on. The rookie guy takes a few risky picks. Xavier Worthy in the starting lineup, Christian Watson, some riskier picks. They turned out for you week 1. Low volume, but they did get in the end zone, both of them. Worthy got in there twice. You had a lot of touchdown scores. So going in here, we see right now you're ranked number 7 in the power rankings this week. How do you feel about still not being climbed up that top given your week 1?
The underdog story is real. Coming out week 1, scoring 135 points, I believe might have been the third most in the league.
It was the most in the league this week. It was 130. You tied Garrett at 130.
Okay, well, the most in the league week 1 and still being ranked 7, not even in the top 3 conversation. We love that underdog story.
Hey, look, and we know where I stand with that, bro. You are not number 7. Ranked above Nathan is crazy.
I believe I voted Granda number 5. I will say I have a little bit of salt on my vote because I did lose to Granda. I did pick myself to win this game. I'm not going to not pick myself before any game. I feel good about my boys as well.
Respect.
Week, Granda had a good week, and I'm really happy for that. So, Granda, going in next week, we got a matchup. It's you versus Chase. 2 guys who are ranked in the playoffs currently. Chase is sitting up here at number 2 in the power rankings. Chase had a great week. He scored 115 without CMC. He might be without CMC next week. But going into this, 1-0 versus 1-0, how do you feel about your odds going into next week?
Yeah, I was texting the commish before this. I talked about consistency with my team this year, and then I hope my boys can just consistently be putting points on the board. I know Drake London for me only had 2 points. I expect that to bump up.
Yeah, no, I actually wanted to talk about that. As someone who had 2 wide receivers put up 2.5 points, I understand your pain, brother. Not knowing, did you watch any Atlanta Falcons game? Did you like the way the offense was looking? Like, where do you project him to go after this?
They played a really good, solid defense in the Steelers this week. Coming in at the draft, whenever I was drafting my team, I knew my team, I was going to rely on the running backs and the quarterback for me. My 2 running backs, they performed well. My quarterback obviously performed well. But yeah, the Atlanta and Drake Leonard only having 2 points did really surprise me, but I think that'll bump up to double-digit points for me here.
Yeah, I agree. Kirk Cousins has a pretty bad game by his standards for it being the regular season. We all know how he is in the playoffs, but in the regular season, that was quite the stinker.
And for you, Rhonda, what surprised me and what really hurt me the most, I can live with the Saquon 30. What got me is Xavier Worthy and Christian Watson had 3 combined touchdowns on 5 catches. That's low volume, high efficiency. That's not going to continue throughout the year. You know that. He's not going to catch a touchdown every time. So going forward, how do you project out those 2 guys? They're definitely boom or bust players. Do you think they're going to have more high weeks than they will low weeks to get you through the year?
Like I said previously, I believe the Chiefs and Andy Reid, he's such an offensive guru, and he's got a brilliant mind. I think he's going to find ways to get Xavier Worthy the ball. He's too talented not to. But, Christian Watson, it's a hit or miss. He is a risky pick. I'm making moves. My GM abilities, I'm trying to make moves in the free agency with our league. I've got a couple my eye on a couple players that I see, perform well week 1 that I think can continue to perform well. One's my quarterback's throwing the ball too, so that'd make me happy if I can snag him.
And the last two things I have for you, Granda. The first thing, what do you say to the people who still have you voted 7, and not just the Board of Commissioners? There's other people in the league. Oh, this is a fluky week. He had guys score way more than they're normally going to score. What do you say to that?
We love the underdog story. I got Chase coming up this week. We're taking it week by week, but I think my team's going to be able to put up another triple-digit week combined.
And speaking of your team, my last question is the team on your hat, the New York Giants. How are we feeling about the Daniel Jones situation in the season going forward? I know it's a tough loss week 1.
Giants been my team all my life. My dad's from the Bronx, but whenever I start betting against them for them to lose the spread, that's how we're going downhill. Daniel Jones, he's rough. I saw a stat. I think it was he's thrown more touchdowns to the other team than he has his own team since signing a $40 million a year contract. So, we're going downhill, but maybe we'll rebuild. And I'm not too excited about the draft coming up next year and next election. So I don't even know what we're going to do.
We could maybe see, Shador Sanders in that New York Giants blue. You excited about that, or are you not on some perfect timing? You know what I'm saying?
He can sling it, but our offensive line is so trash. You think with 2 first-round offensive tackles on our team, Evan Neal and Thompson, it would somewhat be decent, but and then a center, I believe we drafted. I don't even remember what round we drafted.
Bakhtiari's still out there in free agency. If the Giants got a little cap moving, you know what I'm saying? Maybe there's hope.
We should have snagged my boy. The Browns quarterback. Why can't I?
James Winston.
No. He was on the Browns last year.
Oh, Joe Flacco.
Yeah. Why can't I? Joe Flacco. We should have snagged my man, Joe Flacco.
No, he is a dog. Actually, got me into the playoffs last year. Started him over Pat Mahomes. Last 4 games of the season got me into the playoffs. I love me some Joe Flacco.
You started Joe Flacco?
Yes, over Pat Mahomes.
That's great.
Yeah,
right, before you go, this was Ben's idea. Last thing here. Is there any player? It doesn't have to be.
Whoa. No. I'm gonna switch in the segment. If you've been on TikTok or Instagram Reels lately, you've seen the boom or the doom, the Costco guys. We're gonna do that segment, but for fantasy players. Because what's Burke Boys without a little brain rot? You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna go through the highest score on every team. I want you to give me a boom if you think he's gonna keep up the efficiency. I want you to give me a doom if he's not gonna keep it up. Okay. So first up, we got Ben Ackerman's team. His highest scorer was Ramondre Stevenson. Are we getting a boom or doom for Ramondre?
Never heard of the guy Doom.
Doom? All right. My highest score was Jaden Daniels. Are we getting a boom or doom on him?
I like the boom.
I like the boom? All right.
How many points did he have this week?
He had 28.
I think he's going to be around 25 consistently.
Okay. Next up, we got Lamar Jackson with a cool 25. What are we thinking on Lamar?
Yeah, that's a boom.
That's a boom.
He played the Kansas City Chiefs week 1, still had 25 under his belt. We think that's going to be up there.
Okay, this is Ethan Wright's team. Josh Allen had 31. Obviously, I think that's a boom. But Chris Godwin with 18.3 points. You think he can keep that up?
Good for him. Chris Godwin. He's Buccaneers wide receiver, right?
Yeah.
Buccaneers. I mean, that Buccaneers squad's looking solid. I think he can be around the double-digit number, maybe lower, though, 10 to 13 range.
Cool.
Okay.
Cool.
Doom.
Rylan had a rough week, putting up 86 points. His best player was Jordan Love, obviously not going to be playing. I think there's a more interesting player on his squad, though. Zach Moss with 13 points. We obviously were preying on Zach Moss's downfall. Where do you feel about that? How do you feel about Zach Moss?
Is that the Colts running back?
No, he's with the Bengals now.
Bengals. Oh, okay. Bengals struggled week 1 as a team. They scored what, 1 touchdown?
Yeah, I think he was the only touchdown scorer.
Yeah, you think the Bengals would be more productive in the pass game coming these next couple of weeks with Jamar Chase and hopefully T. Higgins coming back. So I think that might be a doom, maybe.
A doom? Okay. I'm just trying to find it a little interesting. Geno Smith on Rodgers Redemption Ride dropped 17.84 points, 2 total TDs, 171 yards. What we giving that one? We giving that a boom or a doom? Geno Smith.
What was his total points?
17 points.
I think he stays around there, so maybe a boom.
Okay. Jay Jettas with 13 points.
Oof, boom.
Boom. You think he's going up?
He's going to be coming and, consistently, hopefully 15 points for whoever he got him.
Listen, last one I want to leave off with. I think it is a player I think a lot of people like but didn't know he was going to go this nuclear. Alvin Kamara with 19 points. How we feel about that?
Yeah, that was great. He's Saints running back, right?
Yeah.
Played Panthers week 1.
Yeah.
And, Panthers are basically not even an organization. They would probably lose to the top 5 college teams. They're not good. Alvin Kamara, he's a really good running back, I think. He's getting up there in age, I believe, maybe.
Yeah, he's getting older. And,
he could get banged up here and there. 19 points. I'm going to say doom.
Doom? Okay. Now, last thing I want to ask you. There's a big game coming up in London. I don't know which week it is. New York versus the Carolina Panthers. I think instead of the Super Bowl, that's the Trash Bowl. What's your prediction for that game?
First of all, let me say this funny story. So, I was watching the Pat McAfee show during my lunch break today at work. And I see Carolina Panthers tickets were selling for like $1 or something like that. So, I text a group chat with me, my girlfriend, Jackson, and his girlfriend, Rachel. And I was like, hey, we should all go to a Charlotte's game or a Panthers game because they are so cheap. Let's go to the Giants one. Because on ESPN, it has Giants versus Panthers. They weren't promoting it as an international. So I thought the Panthers were playing the Giants at Panthers. So I thought I was going to be able to go see my team. And it was going to be a good matchup because they're both awful. And whoever wins, wins. But I do some more researching. I was looking at ticket prices, and I see Ireland or something like that. I was like, bro, no way I got blue balls like that. But if I was to bet on that game, I would bet the Giants. The Panthers are really bad. So I'm saying this, but I might be eating my words later in the year because the Giants are also really bad. But I think the Giants can pull away, maybe win a game this year, and that might be their game.
All right. Well, Grande, it was awesome having you. Any last words you want to leave the boys with?
Underdog story. This year we're coming for the money. We're competing and hoping to win. But what a week 1 we had. We had some ups and downs in our league. A lot of people scoring a lot of points, and some people, struggle week 1. But that's okay. We got a whole long year ahead of us.
Yep. Yes, sir.
And I'm super grateful to be in the league with a bunch of boys that are competitive and have fun spirits. So super great.
Yes, sir.
Well, I appreciate you, Granda. I appreciate you joining the league, and I appreciate you coming off for week 1. Maybe we'll have you back for another big week. Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right, man.
See you, brother.
All right, brother. Y'all have a good one.
So, welcome. This is our our guesses and predictions for the week 2 matchups. Did it for week 1. I believe we went like 5-2. We were wrong about my game, and I was wrong about Ethan beating Garrett. Ben went 6-1 on his predictions. I went 5-2. Hate on the commissioners or hate on the pod all you want. We did pretty good.
Yeah.
We did good guessing fantasy football games. That's hard to do. Given that, we're going into week 2. We're going to speed roll these because we have one more segment that we're pretty excited about. Ben is going to lead that next segment. So here we go. First game I have is me versus Jackson. I'll let you go first.
You versus Jackson? T's back?
T should be back, yes.
I'm going you.
Okay. I feel confident about my team. I will not pick myself again. I did it week 1. I got embarrassed. I will pick Jackson, but I'll say I feel good. Going to week 2, or going to the next game, we have Ryland, the Punanity Predators, versus In-N-Out. The 2 bottom guys face off in a clash. Who do you like, Ben?
I can't say. I cannot speak on this. Cannot speak on this game. Just gonna pass this one.
Okay. Well, I'll pass it to me. I'm going to take the Punanity Predators. I think his team's a little healthier with no Puka. I think DK and DJ Moore have a bounce-back week. Brees Hall's got a much better matchup. Give me Rylan here. Rolling into the next game, we have Ethan versus Reed. Ethan hasn't made a trade yet. He's been planning on it. Still no trade to come through yet. What do you think? Ethan versus Reed.
Give me Reed.
I'm going to follow that up, and I'm going to go with Reed as well. Amon-Ra has a bounce-back week. I think the running backs still play solid. I'm going to take Reed here. Until Ethan gets a better running back core, it's going to be hard to bet on him. Given here the next game, we have Garrett, the highest scorer of the week, versus Zach, one of the lowest scores of last week. A very high-ranked guy.
Garrett. Give me Garrett.
Well,
I don't need to hear it. Give me Garrett.
I will as well roll with Garrett, I believe. I think Zach actually makes this closer than we think, but I do have Garrett. It's going to be hard to pick against Garrett until I see a reason not to. The next game, we have Tommy's Mini Mart Muggers Chase versus Gronda. Two powerhouses that scored high points last week. I don't know if McCaffrey's playing. It seems less likely than it is likely at the moment. But I'll let you take your guess.
Does he have the San Francisco backup on his bench?
No, Garrett has him.
Okay. Who would be starting in his position? Who does he have starting over McCaffrey?
Swift. DeAndre Swift.
DeAndre?
Swift.
How do you play week 1?
Kind of but it was also their first week with a rookie.
Chase Garrett?
Nope, Chase Gronda.
Chase Gronda? You know what? Give me Grondilla.
I'm going to go Gronda as well. Chase is because...
Wait, you're going Gronda?
I'm going Gronda.
All right, I'm going Chase then.
Okay.
Let's get a little switch up.
If McCaffrey plays, I will pick Chase.
Okay.
Given McCaffrey doesn't play, which I don't think he is this week, I'm going to go Gronda.
Okay.
With that being said, we have 2 more games. Jacob, 0-1 Jacob versus 0-1 Nathan. This is going to be a yap fest.
Give me Nathan.
You did Nathan. Okay. I think I'm going to take... this is going to be a good one. I'm going to go Nate on a bounce-back week. I think Jonathan Taylor puts up a little more points. He's got somebody in replacement for Zamir White. I do think this is a very close game, and I say this because I think Jacob's team turns it on later. I'm telling you, I'm calling it now. He's going to have a slow start.
And he's going to put it... Yeah, no, I agree. But, yeah, I'm just going to go Nathan just because I like the squad a little bit better right now. But generational yap session in the group chat. Generational.
Yeah, it's going to be good. It's going to be really good. We're going to have to boot them out like 3 times.
Yeah, no, it's going to be beautiful.
The last game is your game. This is you versus Ryan.
Yeah, no, rough matchup. I'm not gonna speak my piece.
I'm not gonna speak my piece. I'm gonna look into. This is 2 pretty good teams. I'm gonna look into the underlying stats here on this game. Devontae's playing Baltimore. I don't know if Ferguson's playing. Ooh, dang. Yeah, ETN's got Cleveland. I'm going to roll Ryan here just because he had such a good week last week. It's hard to bet against a guy that just dropped 130. So, nothing against you, Ben. I do think you put up a fair fight here. Until I see something from McLaurin and Cooper, I'm going to have to take Ryan here.
Yeah, no. I agree. I don't agree. I feel neither way about it. You know, let my players do the talking, and it just depends on how they talk, you know?
Yeah, and I like your team. I think this is going to be a good game.
Yeah.
With that being said, Ben, I'm going to let you introduce a new segment, a segment that wasn't on last year. We didn't talk about it in the group chat. This is a new segment. This is Ben's idea. Ben, I'll let you present it.
Boys, listen. I'm just gonna state a fact here. We are a predominantly white league. Shout out Jaden. Shout out Chase. Shout out those 2. For sure. Shout out those 2.
Gronda's part Spanish. Shout out Gronda.
I said Jaden.
Oh, Jacob, Jaden, and Chase.
No. I didn't count Jacob. I said Jaden and Chase. Jacob he's white. Those 2 people are both half white too. So we are a predominantly white league. In football, we do have to give it to the brothers. You know what I'm saying? They're better at football than us. You know, they're better at a lot of things than us when it comes to the athletic side of the field. We got a couple guys, though. We got a couple white boys that go in there every week and get it done. All right? Introducing White Boy of the Week. I just figured it'd be a little shout out. You know what I'm saying? You know, give a little love to some guys, some sneaky athletic players. You know what I'm saying? Real locker room guys. Real hard-working, grit dudes. That being said, there were a lot of contenders. You know, Cooper Kupp had a great week. Alex Anzalone, great week, was out there just dogging dudes on defense. Lad McConkey, you know what I'm saying? I don't know if I really love his white boy status, but, you know, he had a good week. That being said, there was a guy this week, right, that went out there, had 3 catches for 140 yards. Arguably highlight of the week. You know, maybe it was the throw, but also that route was disgusting. He was double teamed, still got open, still got the catch. We're giving it to Alec Pierce. Throw up the highlights, Chase. On
1st and 10. Pressure's coming. Richardson slips. Now he's airing it out. Deep down the field for Pierce. Pierce! Touchdown! What a throw by Richardson!
Throw up the highlights. Throw up the graphic.
Hooray!
Listen, this guy came in there. I was not familiar with Alec Pierce. I don't know where he went to college. Is he a rookie? I have no idea. All I know was bro put up 140 yards and 21 fantasy points. Okay? Kid's a dog. Especially with a quarterback who runs the ball a lot. Give me Alec Pierce for White Boy of the Week. Certified White Boy status. I saw him dap up, do one of these motions. Dapping up Anthony Richardson. So we all know he's certified. He's invited to the cookout. Give me Alec Pierce.
Yeah, and Alec Pierce, 3 catches for, 140 yards and a touchdown? That's like, what are we talking here? Like 40 yards a catch? That's ridiculous. That's like early career Tyreek Hill stats. Does this happen every week for Alec Pierce? Obviously not. He's a second-year guy. But he's got some swag. The kid plays with a swaggy quarterback. He kind of has that walk to him. He's got a little bit of chip on his shoulder. There were other good candidates. Baker Mayfield dropped 4 touchdowns. He's always a white boy.
We love Baker in this household.
Yep. Cooper Kupp had a great week, but I feel like Cooper Kupp is such a certified white boy. It's hard to give him white boy of the week.
Yeah.
Alec Pierce shows it off. They play a good game. They did lose, but the Colts look good. The Colts are going to be entertaining this year. So
for sure.
So
we also agreed player of the week. We'll just be quick on that. Saquon Barkley obviously went nuclear. 3 touchdowns, new team.
Yeah. So with that being said, I believe this is going to wrap up. Dude, I said with that being said like 10 times. I got to stop that. It's not going to happen. We got to wrap up this segment. This will wrap up the episode for the end of this. Technically our second episode, but this is the first week episode. Feel free to drop your opinions in the group chat or the comments on YouTube of what you think. You're probably going to see a couple clips here and there, a couple posts on the Instagram. If you're not following that, I think everybody is, but if you're not following it, go follow. And let us know what you think about the rankings. Get the app going in the group chat.
Yes, sir, boys. Good to see you, boys. Peace.
We're out.